Hi, friends. Welcome back to Wisdom Wednesday on the Reading is a Human Right podcast. I'm your host, Leta Palmiter, and today we're diving into something I believe doesn't get nearly enough attention: how grammar instruction can supercharge reading and writing for our students. This podcast is brought to you by Illuminations Dyslexia and our product store. Whether you need resources for small group intervention or whole class instruction, we can design the supplies that you need. Call us today for package information. Don't forget to check out our featured products. Today we are featuring Writing Matters by the late William Van Cleave. If you want to bring this kind of instruction that we're talking about today into your own classroom next year, then this is a powerful place to start. If you order with the code Reading is a Human Right, you'll receive a free gift and free shipping to support language arts in your classroom, a free game for your small group. So let's play with language and build thinkers together. Now, onto the podcast. You have heard me say before on the show that the brain is not built to read, it's built to speak. And we have to use those speaking parts to teach it how to read. It must be explicitly taught, and writing supports reading. That the multisensory instruction that we do in dyslexia therapy changes the game. Today, we're going to go deeper into grammar and syntax and the sentence. So let's be real. Grammar instruction has a bad reputation. How many of you remember labeling nouns and verbs? Some educators say teaching grammar is a waste of time. Others say it should only be taught incidentally, like when a kid writes a choppy sentence, then you have to teach that skill in the moment. But today, I want to challenge that thinking and offer a better way. What my friend, my mentor, William Van Cleave says, this is the third way, right? He said that both extremes, rote memorization or just incidental grammar, was a failure for our students because those methods failed to build the framework, failed to build that foundation that our kids need to understand how language really works. He said, when we teach grammar only as problems arise, we don't provide students with an overarching framework to show them where the concept fits in the bigger picture. That was the key. Grammar isn't about labeling nouns and verbs for the sake of test scores. It's about giving kids the tools they need to understand how language conveys meaning. And the understanding improves both their reading comprehension and their writing fluency. So, how do you do that? One of the things that William taught us was that sentence combining has the most evidence, the most research for effective ways to improve student writing. It strengthens reading comprehension because students learn how sentences are structured, how clauses relate to one another, and how meaning builds word by word. That's what syntax is. And syntax really does matter. So let's take it a step further. When we talk about parts of speech, we're not memorizing definitions. It's not just a noun is a person, place, or thing. We're asking, what job is this word doing in this sentence? Is jump a verb? Maybe. But what if it's a ski jump? Then it's a noun. Is man a noun? Okay. Until you say man the lifeboats, and then it's a verb. When we understand the role of a word in context, that is where comprehension lives. Learning words like noun and subject and predicate isn't really about knowing what those words are. William says it's about allowing us to communicate about sentences and ideas and comprehension. When students can talk about how language works, they can think about how ideas are constructed, and that translates into better reading and writing. So, what can you do as a teacher? Use sentence combining and expansion regularly. Give them short, simple sentences and ask them to combine them in meaningful ways. Or give them sentence stems and ask them to expand them. This builds flexibility, fluency, and comprehension. You can anchor your grammar instruction to the text that you're reading. Don't teach it in isolation. Use the examples if you're reading from Charlotte's Web or Esperanza Rising or a nonfiction article that you're using in class. Use the grammar in the things that you're reading to deepen the comprehension of that text and model for them what a sentence should look like when they're writing about a text that they are reading. You can also use the shared language by creating a common vocabulary to talk about the writing. When everyone in the room knows what a subject and a predicate are, you can get to the why faster. What is this sentence doing? What's missing in this sentence? How could we say this more clearly? What if you're a parent of a student? What can you do? You can ask questions to get your child thinking. Not what's a noun, but what does that word do in this sentence? Or what is this sentence trying to say? You can talk about writing in your regular life, at the dinner table, in the car. Say that with more detail. Could you make that a longer sentence? These questions build awareness without worksheets. Often I don't let my kids answer me with a single word answer. I'll say that again. Tell me what you really mean. That playing with language, even by using silly sentences or changing word order or inventing new endings, helps our students see that language is supposed to be fun. I love the Phantom Toll Booth for this reason, right? It makes the grammar richer. So, even that simple activity that we started with, that sentence combining, can go across all ages. Think about a beginning of school. The dog ran, the dog barked, gets combined. A kindergarten students can say, the dog ran and barked. And they can use pictures and movements and puppets to make this interactive, right? By second grade, we're writing. We can add adjectives. We can add temporal words. The girl sang loudly. The girl sang at night. And we can combine those three to say, the girl sang loudly at night, right? We know where those words go. We can make more than one version of that sentence. By fifth grade, we need to start focus on combining sentences, subordinate clauses. Where do these fit? So we can take the we ate lunch, or we played outside, or when did we do this? After we ate lunch, we played outside. We can experiment with opening sentences and transition words. By the time we enter middle school, we need to be talking about sentence variety to improve our essay writing. We need to be talking about how do we put in these adjectival and adverbial clauses. She was nervous. She took the test. Well, how do you combine them? What kinds of words would, although she was nervous, she took the test confidently. These if-then clauses. And as we get into high school, we need more work on these compound, complex sentence structures and how those words fit together. This one activity helps students play with these words in a way that strengthens vocabulary, syntax, grammar, in a way that supports comprehension and writing. So, final thoughts. Grammar isn't just grammar, it's thinking, it's structure, it's clarity. And when it's taught well, explicitly, and in context with meaningful practice, it can make kids better readers and better writers. And if a concept doesn't improve their reading and writing, then why are we teaching it? Let's use the power of syntax to build stronger, clearer thinkers, one sentence at a time. Thank you for joining me for Wisdom Wednesday. Until every child can read and write with confidence, I'm Leta Palmiter, and this is Reading is a Human Right.